Alright, yeah, welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today is Monday, I think, and if it is, that means it's Historic Day, so we're going to be playing around with another list built around a card from the Mystical Archives? Yeah, the Mystical Archives. We'll call this the Hokey Cokey, because basically the entire combo is going in, out, and then shaking it all about. So yeah, let's talk about it, shall we? So Birgi Storm, I'm sure some of you might have seen this one before. It's a combo list that I have yet to play on the channel, and you know me, I love me some combo, so here we are. We've got to showcase it on the channel. So, what are we doing? Basically, the card that makes it all work is Grinning Ignis, a 3-mana 2/2 that can pay 1 red to return it to its owner's hand, and then you can add 2 colorless and 1 red. But you can only activate this as a sorcery. So basically, if you pay 1, you can return it back to its hand, and you get the mana to cast it. That leaves you 1 mana in debt, unfortunately. So we want to be able to counteract that, because we're trying to go for a Storm win here. Grape Shot is going to be our win con. A 2-mana sorcery from the Mystical Archives. Deals 1 damage to any target, and then it has Storm, which says whenever you cast a spell, you copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. And then you may choose new targets for the copies. So basically, if we can make Grinning Ignis enter and exit for free, that means we've got an infinite Storm count. So all we really have to do is make up that 1 point of mana. The way we're going to do that is using Birgi, God of Storytelling, a 3-mana 3/3. Whenever you cast a spell, add 1 red mana until the end of the turn, and you don't lose mana as phases end. And creatures you control can boast twice, which is irrelevant. Basically, whenever we cast the Grinning Ignis, Birgi generates us 1 mana. That 1 mana is used to activate the Ignis, which means we can return it to hand, play it for free using the mana that it already generated, and then do it all over again. So in, out, shake it all about. We also have Runaway Steamkin as an alternative Birgi as well. 2 mana 1/1. Whenever you cast a red spell, if Steamkin has fewer than 3 +1/+1 counters on it, you put a counter on it. Then you can remove 3 counters to add 3 red. So if we can combo the Steamkin with the Ignis in such a way where we can play it 3 times, then the red mana can be generated from Steamkin that way. Again, that is another way of generating infinite mana. If we have all 3, then we do actually have infinite mana generating combos and things like that, which is pretty sweet. We could also use Hazoret's Monument as well, which is a legendary artifact, 3 mana. It says red creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, and whenever you cast a creature spell, you may discard a card, and if you do, draw a card. So that allows us to dig deep. Once we're going with our infinite loop of Ignis and Birgi, we can start discarding the card that's in our hand, looking for the Grape Shot. Once we've found that, the Ignis returning generates us the mana for us to cast the Grape Shot. So that's generally the idea. The rest of the deck is basically just to get us there, and occasionally to help us with Steamkin generating mana. So one way that we generate mana is through Crash Through and Warlord's Fury. Most of the text is irrelevant. This one gives our creatures first strike. This one gives them trample. The real thing we do want to do here is draw a card. Again, with Birgi in play, when we play this 1 red mana spell and draw a card, Birgi generates as the mana. So these are just free redraws, which is really nice. We also have Spikefield Hazard as an extra spell we can do that way. It can also hit like Llanowar Elves to slow our opponents down and things like that. We have Faithless Looting from the Mystical Archives as well. Draw 2 and then discard 2, but we can also flash it back for 3 and draw 2 and discard 2 again. So the first Faithless Looting is card disadvantage. The one from the graveyard is just card neutral, which is kind of nice. So again, that's another way that we can go and find our Grape Shot. All of this helps us actually fuel the graveyard. We even have Ox of Agonis here. You don't see this one too often, but it does have a double red escape. So if we put it into our graveyard and exile 8 other cards from our graveyard, we can have it enter the battlefield. And then it discards our hand and draws 3 cards. Again, could help us find the Grape Shot if we need it. Same thing with Merchant of the Veil, another free card similar to Crash Through and Warlord's Fury. The haggle on this one says you may discard a card if you do draw a card. It's only 1 mana, so it is basically refunded on Birgi and Runaway Steamkin eventually. And then if Merchant is in play, you can actually pay the 3 to discard and draw a card. You will actually see, and I highly recommend staying to the end of the video, you will see Merchant of the Veil carry one of our games. This card is secret turbo super tech. Just watch out for this boy right here. He's the MVP of at least one game today. A game that I thought I would have lost, but didn't end up doing. But yeah, I think that's all I really need to explain as far as the deck is concerned. If you want to see how it works, check out the gameplay, which is coming right on up. But before you do that, if you do want to support the channel, you can do that for free by hitting the like button, subscribing if you haven't done so already, or even leaving a comment down below. Let me know what you guys are playing in Historic. If you'd like to see me play anything in particular, I'd love to hear your opinions on any kind of future content. I love it when you guys help me shape the channel, so by all means, leave some comments down below, and yeah, let's continue, shall we? This video is brought to you by the generous support of our wonderful patrons and channel members that you see here. If you'd like to support the channel and get access to cool content like sneak peeks, bonus videos, polls on future content, or access to a personal deck critique from myself every month, then hit the join button down below, or check out the Patreon link in the description. With all that said, let's get into the gameplay. Alrighty then, opponent goes first. We've got combo pieces. We just need a third land, but we do have Faithless Looting to get us there. If we get Thought Seized, we're kind of in a bad spot, but you don't mull for Thought Seized decks. Duress decks don't really exist, but here we are. So, do they want to take the Faithless Looting? It will leave us basically doing nothing for 3 turns. So, it'd honestly be my pick. Nope. Takes the redundant Hazoret's Monument. Okay. And are we going to Faithless Looting here? I guess so. We want to find combo pieces, right? Steamkin's great. Let's go down a Crash Through. Honestly, Grape Shot, I think, at this point. With Hazoret's Monument, we should be able to find what we need, I would think. Thoughtseize. Alright. Well, now you've got to kind of take Steamkin unless you have removal. Yeah. Our first matchup being Discard Tribal is never really a good sign for a combo deck. It's kind of like the #1 thing that you do not want to see happening. Our opponent being mana screwed, though, as a combo deck is very nice, so we'll see. Maybe that'll end up happening. So let's get down Steamkin. That'll save us some mana in the long term. Opponent with a Sedgemoor Witch, and we drew the Grape Shot. Okay, well, I have to go for it. Not in a position where we can really just say, I'll hold on to this till later. Yep. No surprises there. Opponent continues to have the best cards. And now we're just kind of spinning our wheels a little bit. Digging for answers. Oh, Grinning Ignis as well. Well, let's do this. Let's go Mountain. I think we're going Warlord's Fury. It gets us out of Lightning Helix range. I don't think we're playing Grinning Ignis here, though. With his first striking, we might as well get in for some damage. Opponent can't block in such a way that Helix would work, and they would have actually cracked the Fable Passage for a Helix had they actually had the card. Can also play around Heartless Up by not cracking our counters as well, which is nice. But do we stand much of a chance of winning? Probably not. I think our opponent has stripped enough of our cards that we're going to basically spend a lot of time doing nothing, and that's going to give our opponent all the time in the world to do something. Not much that can be done about that, unfortunately. Oh, wow. Okay. Not sure that they paid attention to the first strike. In fact, that almost certainly seems like the case. Okay. One perfect answer follows the next. Exactly enough damage there. Wow. Okay. Hazoret's Monument. So this is only whenever you cast a creature spell you may discard a card. So I think I'm just going to hold it for now. You wouldn't be a kind of deck that would run a Rip Apart now, would you? Hardcast Bonecrusher Giant and Liliana more discard. Alright, we'll get rid of Crash Through, because Crash Through could just be another Grinning Ignis. We're actually going to go Ignis here, discard Ox, because I think we can escape it. So I believe that's what we are going to do. Our graveyard doesn't really matter, so let's just eat anything and everything. There we go. Sure. Actually, no, because we could discard another Grape Shot, and we can't be having that. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so I think we'll be okay, right? I think we'll be okay. See what our opponent wants to do. Oh, I should have played the Mountain. Oh, so our opponent doesn't see it. Liliana killing Grinning Ignis will set me back so unbelievably far. Good. Cool. Awesome.
You can scream if it hurts too much.
Yeah, I really want the Ignis to not die. Because then I'm totally fine. Come on, don't punish. It was a land. Okay, down to 14. Don't you do it. Do not do it! Oh my god, are you kidding me? Okay, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Culligan's Command 2 phoning me. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna move on, I think. I don't honestly know in what world I ever stand a chance of winning with draws like our opponents, but yeah. Next game. Alright, we go first against the Kihira matchup, so Jeskai control most likely. Yeah, we're gonna keep this. Hasn't got all the combo pieces, but I'm sure we can get there. Let's lead off with Faithless Looting so we get additional information. Put Ox into the yard, and we want all of our lands. Let's get rid of a Warlord's Fury, I suppose. We very likely actually want Warlord's Fury over Crash Through. It's very minimal difference, but it is a difference nonetheless. Let's discard a Mountain here. Runaway Steamkin's nice. It's dead to Lightning Helix almost immediately, but it's nice. Keeps Birgi's alive in the future, I suppose. And Ignis. Yeah, I mean, let's get Memory Lapsed. No Memory Lapse and no Helix, it looks like. Interesting. Ah! Different answer. Makes sense. Alright. Let's go Mind Stone. Let's go Faithless Looting. Found the Grape Shot. So let's keep Ignis and Grape Shot. Looking for Hazoret's Monument now. Opponent's deck does have Prismari commands in it, so rip my artifacts whenever they feel like it, to be fair. I'm just gonna go Merchant here, I think. Let's play the Mountain. Play Merchant. I might end up cracking the Mind Stone since we've got 19,000 lands. But I'm unsure just at the moment. See if we can eat a Helix. If this was draw and discard, I might use it, but because I actually want all of these cards, I'm not going to be doing that. We got 6 cards in the yard. This is 8 others. Yeah. And there's the Helix. Okay. There's nothing I can draw that makes me need to crack the Mind Stone here. Big old Tef. Alright. And I'd say I'm just about giving up against a tier 1 list.
You know what?
A tier 1 deck, my list is not. So, losing to it is perfectly acceptable. But Birgi, have you just drawn the memory lapse? You have just drawn the memory lapse. Okay, we will pass then. I guess there's a chance. Opponent draws memory lapse. Or Helix. Both of those are game ending, and I will scoop to either of them. Because we are officially in garbage time as far as Teferi is concerned. If their opponent gets to untap with a Teferi and mana open and 6 cards in hand, scoop. Honestly. Unless you think that you genuinely can win, which if our opponent doesn't have Helix or Memory Lapse, I think I can. Then just scoop. Save yourself the heartache. 1 top, 1 bottom, you hate to see it. And tap land, untaps into 2 mana here. We need it to not be Memory Lapse or Helix. So here comes Birgi. It looks like it's Memory Lapse. Okay. Well, we'll keep going. Again, we are still live to them whiffing on Memory Lapses and Helixes. Or anything else of the sort. I want to see 2 bottoms here. Oh, come on. Catch a break, please. We've got all we need to win the game. We just need to be able to resolve it. Tap lands. And untaps into hard counter mana. Again, if that is what they have, I will scoop to it. So here comes Birgi. If it's just another Memory Lapse, we keep going. Alright. Grinning Ignis. I will accept counter on Grinning Ignis, because they will just Wrath and then we're stranded. Otherwise... Infinite Storm Count. The moment we were waiting for, that our opponent is definitely not slow rolling. We've got to get Grape Shot up to at least 26, just in case our opponent is slow rolling. At least it's a nice and easy infinite loop here. I think they're probably going to make us play it out. I'm not going to GG you because I will misclick, so you can just scoop. If you think it's a good game, then you can go. So the thing about Grape Shot is, unless they've got like, what is it, Whirlwind's Denial or something like that, that counters everything on the Storm count, they can't possibly counter every stack of Grape Shot. So as long as we overkill them, then there's nothing our opponent can do at this stage. But it's perfectly reasonable for our opponent to not be scooping here, to assume that our last card in hand is Grape Shot, you know? If my opponent was playing this out and I'd got this far, I would certainly wait until the Grape Shot was cast as well. It's just a shame it'll take me 10 more loops of this combo. Can't believe we got there, honestly, but play to our outs. Opponent will eventually time out as well, so we'll be able to do this a whole lot quicker because they won't be able to respond. Here we go. Because it appears as though they've got something, I just don't know what it could be. Like, if they had Brainstorm, they should use it. Yeah, if it's going to be like Whirlwind Denial, that's going to be pretty funny. I won't even be mad if you are the one person on Arena using that card right now. Again, we're playing to our opponent's outs, which are that we try to exactly kill them. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to be taking it as high as it'll go. In fact, I might even keep doing it until my opponent times out. That means that they don't get to actually respond to a lot of things. So we're up to 21 now. I want to do at least 26. Though I'm not sure. 24 would be bare minimum. 26 would be exactly what I'd want. So we now have lethal grape shots. But we need extra lethal just so that we don't get blown out by random removal our opponent's slow rolling. And the time has almost run out as well, so shouldn't have to wait until they say yes every last time. So we're at 26. I think I'll take it to 30. There we go. Opponent has timed out. And now it's on us, apparently, to resolve things. 28. 29. We'll go one more. That's 30. Return it back to hand. And grape shot your face. Resolve all. Pew, pew, pew. Good game. There you go. Wow. We should not have won that. I really don't think we should have won that. I sincerely thought we were in garbage time, but we weren't. On to the next one. Alrighty, on the play with a turn 2 Runaway Steamkin, potential turn 3 Birgi. We'll keep this one. It's very sketchy though, mana base wise, so we'll need to have a third land just to be comfortable with this one, and then from there we still have to find our Grinning Ignis. So, a lot that can go wrong, especially when our opponent is on a deck that runs Lightning Helix. Could Grape Shot the Lumimancer. Wouldn't be the worst thing to do. We'll wait a little while though. I don't know, if I put the Runaway Steamkin in front of the Lumimancer, it's almost guaranteeing... Is that? That is a fling. Okay. Makes sense, actually. So our opponent could have Wizard's Lightning to kill Birgi, but we have a backup Birgi. So we're going to accept that as a perfectly fine interaction. We are not running a single thing into the Lumimancer, because we do not need to. Nope. Gonna make our opponent interact first. Another Lumimancer. So a little bit of a greed play for sure. Although I don't know what their hand actually ends up being at this point. Alright, so Merchant the Veil. The Haggle is a free redraw, so we're going to take that. And try and get the Steamkin up to max counters. Let's go down the mountain, I suppose. A Grape Shot. So I could force an interaction here with the Grape Shot. Pinging, pinging, and then they have to play something. Or I could do Merchant of the Veil. Then Grape Shot. How many counters? You remove 3. So actually I could do the Horn. Harnfell, Horn of Bounty. I think that's maybe worth some value there. That'll help us combo off next turn. Double Lumimancer with a Merchant of Vale as an easy block here doesn't seem like a bad situation to allow us to wait an extra turn. I don't think we're discarding one Grape Shot. I'm not sure that we necessarily need to. Because we already made our land drop, didn't we? Yes. Already made our land drop. So a land that we hit off of there we can't play. So we'd only be able to have 1-drops as our playable options. And if we miss on it, then we get nothing and we lost a Grape Shot. So I think I'm just going to pass here. Let our opponent have their best chance at 20ing me that they can. They seem to be doing a lot of setup with their hand, which is fair with the Lumimancer builds. That is kind of what that card demands, is setting a board state full of creatures up first before you go in with your big stuff. Which could be a reason why we wanted to, like, Grape Shot the Lumimancers. Oh, it's a feather deck. I thought it was Boros Burn, but really weird for the longest time. Okay, well, they're just passing. They may not want to continuously pass like that. So I can Spikefield Hazard, try and aim at a Lumimancer, or I could discard onto the Harnfell. I think I'm just going to go discard to Harnfell. I want like a redraw kind of effect here, I think. Nope, that's a redraw effect. First strike and free. Draw a mountain. We're looking for Grinning Ignis. So I think because we can just as easily hit a mountain here, and, you know, we've got one in the Spikefield Hazard here anyway. I'm going to discard that. And that's lethal, I think. I'm pretty sure that's lethal. So Grinning Ignis generates the 1 to bring it back. We've got this mana here. You can discard a card, and if you do draw a card, we don't really need to do that. Yep, we should just have the win now. So let's get our speediest win on that we can. We can double Grape Shot here, so we don't have to do the full 18 Storm. We can do a little less Storm. Just a tiny Storm. And we'll have plenty of mana to do it, since we're now actually generating mana every time we do this 3 times. Steamkin gets to remove its counters. Even if they killed a certain aspect of this combo right now, I think that we'd be able to recover from it. So we got 10 damage. This is 12. I'm trying to think whether or not they have a 1-mana spell that could gain life. There is a 1-mana instant that destroys an enchantment, gains 4 life, or puts a counter on a creature. The counter on the creature makes it somewhat reasonable to expect that a feather deck might be running it. So let's assume that they can gain at most 4 life with that white source over there. So let's take them to 24. Our opponent obviously can scoop at any time they like, but I'm sure they want to see me play it out. If it were in paper, I'd just show them the Grape Shots, and this game would have been over 9 years ago. So we're at 20. Gonna be at 22. The other Grape Shots count towards each other as well, but I'm just gonna wait until the actual number on Grape Shot adds up to at least 26. Just for peace of mind more than anything. There is a new Modern Horizons 2 card that would be pretty amusing. It's like Veil of Summer, but in white. I think it gives you hexproof until the end of the turn and gains you 4 life or something. It's pretty sick against burn lists and things like that. Just completely shut them off and force them to bolt their own face. It's pretty cute. But yeah, that's another game in the bag against a feather deck that didn't really want to play. But there you go. It's not my fault they don't want to play. On to the next one. We go first. We have 2 of the 3 pieces of our combo, and we've got stuff to do along the way. So we're going to keep this one. I don't know if I'm going to go Spikefield Hazard on turn 1. I guess not. The only reason you'd want to do that is if your opponent had turn 1 Llanowar Elves, and we can answer that next turn if we really need to. So we can even do Crash Through Spikefield now, which isn't so bad. So we may end up using this as a spell rather than a land, which is nice. Overgrown Tomb pass. Alright, so we're going to go Mindstone pass. So maybe it could still be a Llanowar Elves matchup, but it's not going to be actual elves. What decks run Overgrown Tomb these days? Star Pupil. Interesting. Well, let's crash through. We're looking for Hazoret's Monument, and we just found it. Cool. So there's Monument. We need to avoid artifact-based removal here, so like Night of Autumn seems like a card they could be running. Hopefully they don't have that, because it does put counters on itself. What else is there in counters that really does anything? Rishkar doesn't. And I guess now, well, I was going to say now I need to figure out whether or not we've just won, but I'm pretty sure Birgi means that I did. So we play Birgi for 2. Then we play Grinning Ignis for 2. It generates 1. Yeah, I think this is it. This is the combo. We just had a land enter, so we don't need to find anything else. So we're just going to decline. So this enters for 2. Birgi generates 1. Yeah, I think we got it. Birgi generates the 1 mana, which we use to pay to get the Grinning Ignis back. We still have this one floating as well, so we can definitely bring it back. So we've got a spare piece of mana. In and out, 18 times. Grape shot for the win. Nice and quick there. On to the next one. Opponent goes first. We have turn 1 Faithless Looting. Birgi Hazoret's Monument being one piece of our combo. So we just need to find the Grape Shot and the Ignis. We've got plenty of ways to do that. So we're going to keep this one and hope for a good matchup. Hallowed Fountain Go is not probably a good matchup, honestly. 1 land and an Ox here, I think, is our discards. Yeah, sure. We really only need 3 mana with either of these out. Looks like it's just going to be blue-white snooze control. Spare Birgi is good when it's going to get countered, so that's pretty nice. We'll go down a mountain here. Draw another one, naturally. Grafdigger's Cage. That's annoying. We will play a Hazoret's Monument into a Memory Lapse. We did not play into a Memory Lapse. Fascinating. I'm not playing Birgi there because this is Wrath of God. I will play Steamkin, though. Get rid of the Spikefield Hazard. Faithless Looting, okay. Our opponent's definitely playing the permission game. What's okay, what isn't. Yeah, we'll go this way and just play Merchant, I think. Dump Faithless Looting. I don't think I play Merchant discarding Birgi. So I think we're just going to pass here and get Wrathed. I think I'm gonna need both Birgis. Patient rebuilding. Okay. Okay. Well then. We play Birgi. We're gonna try and go for the win. Discard Birgi. Generate mana with Warlord's Fury as a redraw. We're gonna have to get a lot of luck going on here, and so far so bad. We're going to discard and draw for free. Another Hazaret's Monument is basically just discard fodder. But we could play Merchant here. That basically costs 1, discards and draws. So I think that's where we want to be. Get rid of discard fodder. More discard fodder. Oh! Oh, chat! Oh my god. Oh, he's done it. Oh, he's so good. So we have infinite mana now. So I think what we do, which is really weird, we can get Grape Shot by just discarding and drawing with our infinite mana off the Merchants of the Veil. So even though we're empty-handed, we actually have infinite draw. We just have to gain all the mana well in advance to make that happen, which is going to be extremely annoying, of course. Would have been a lot easier if our opponent had not played Grafdigger's Cage, so that's on them, I suppose. But yeah, once we're ready to go, we'll just discard Grinning Ignis to the Merchant, and then it's all a matter of just finding our Grape Shot. I guess at least we're generating a fair amount as we loop here. And hopefully our opponent scoops it up. I mean, they won't, because they look at my hand and they say, oh, there's 0 cards in it. But if they're paying enough attention, they'll realize that this Ignis is being cast for free, and every 3 loops I get 3 mana. Which is, you know, an extra loop off Merchant. I'm probably going to have to do this until my rope starts showing, and then go from there. I don't really have a choice in the matter. And to be honest, can't be bothered doing my 3 times tables either to figure out how many cards I can draw here. To make it statistically impossible for me to whiff. Which, to be honest, is basically my deck size minus... How many? -4. Yeah. Or -3, I guess. So that's probably why I'm going to go in and do a little bit of non-maths and just keep going until my rope turns up. Math is for blockers after all, and there are none currently in play, so no math is required. I think because this is going to take 9 years, I'm probably going to do a little bit of a speed up on this one. So enjoy this lovely little loop, and I'll see you on the other side.
Yo voy a cantar esta canción para mi gente, con una pasión tan fuerte. Ay, 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 ahora sigo cantando y sigo gozando, yo sigo cantando y sigo gozando.
Alright, my rope's starting to show, so we're going for it now. So, We're going to do a little bit of this. We're going to do that. We're going to bounce this back to hand, and then we're going to start discarding with Merchant of the Veil until we find our Grape Shot. Faithless Looting? No. Keep going. Green Ignis? No. Grape Shot. There you go. I win. Good game. Alright. Same targets, please. Our opponent got very salty towards the end there, but only took us 38 loops of that little combo to get there. Oh, that was a wild game. Yeah, our opponent, just after I'd left you to do a little bit of the speed-up montage, because everybody loves a montage, they basically gave me full priority, but with, like, Shift-Enter, which meant I actually had to start resolving my own spells. It wasn't on them anymore. So I had to start clicking through, and then once that happened, that's when the timer really starts kicking in, and it's like, hey, look, you're taking a long time on your actions here, which is, you know, fair. But, yeah, they really stuck around to see if I could draw my cards. I don't even know how many cards that is, you know. Every 3 mana is a card drawn, and we've got 34 remaining, so I'm sure I would have easily gotten my Grape Shot, but there's always a chance that all 4 of your Grape Shots are right at the very bottom of the deck, so I kind of had to play into that a little bit and, you know, just focus on my combo rather than doing math, which is not my strong suit. As many of you probably have been around on the channel long enough to know, I don't do math good. Well, not on the spot anyway. Give me a minute and I'm pretty good, but when it comes to combat math and blocking math and checking for lethal, not my style. As usually on my opponents, so I waited until they got salty and that's when I killed them. That's the way we roll. But yeah, anyway guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and if you have, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for some more content like this in the future. We will be back later with a little bit more 100-card Historic Brawl as well. If all goes to plan, tonight is the night that I'm going to be doing some streaming as well, so I'm going to be playing some Historic Brawl on there, playing around with some brand new decks, so who knows, maybe I'll find a nice juicy one, and we'll showcase that on the channel later on in the week. But yeah, take care guys, and have a wonderful night.